Since the release of Stranger Things now almost 10 years ago, Millie Bobby Brown and all of her co-stars have seen a massive rise in fame and popularity. It begs the question, if acting is such a difficult skill, why could a bunch of 12-year-olds pick up on it so easily with little to no training? That is exactly the question that I am looking to answer today by looking at how a beginner, intermediate, professional, and then finally how Millie Bobby Brown take on the exact same scene. So we can finally answer what exactly makes her so special. Who the hell am I? Why am I over here acting like I know what I'm talking about? Even though I am not an all-knowing guru, I not only have worked alongside Millie Bobby Brown in season 4 of Stranger Things, but I've also appeared as a guest star in Law & Order SVU and FBI on CBS. Now, obviously I am a little biased since I literally worked with her, but I'm gonna try to be as professional and objective as possible. This scene is between Mike and Eleven in season 4, which Millie actually went on to say is one of her favorite scenes from the entire season. Let us start with our complete beginner actors, Kyle and Stephanie, who at the time of recording had less than a year of acting classes.
So are we just not gonna talk about it?
About what?
I don't know, about like yesterday? Everything?
There's nothing to say.
Stephanie already is moving around too much. It's very important to have movement in a shot because ultimately if you don't have movement, it starts to feel very stiff and static, but too much movement and it becomes difficult to focus just on the performance.
You were scared of me.
No, that's not true. I was surprised. In the moment, I might have been like a little upset, but
there are a lot of these moments, it feels like Kyle is not really sure what to say next, not as the character, as the actor. If you are sighing a lot throughout a scene, it's usually a sign that you're disconnected and you're trying to force intensity.
You can't even write it, Mike. From Mike. From Mike. From Mike. From Mike. From.
Okay. 11, you're being ridiculous.
She's been mostly poised throughout this scene, which did make this moment of finally losing her composure land extra hard. He's done a really great job of showing the shift in the scene once she accuses him of being scared of her. I can see him trying to connect with her, and then we get to the defensive side of the scene, so he's doing a great job of showing the shifts in tactics on his end. Now, of course, we're gonna go all the way up to Millie Bobby Brown and Finn Wolfhard doing this scene, but next, let us check out how our intermediates do this scene, Andrea and Femi.
Come on. You can't actually believe that.
Everybody looks at me like I'm a monster.
They just don't know you.
You think I'm a monster too?
I think Femi is doing a much better job of showing the transitions in the scene than Kyle and Stephanie did, but he's doing a little bit too good of a job of showing the transitions where they feel like a transition that an actor is doing because they plan to in the scene, not like organic transitions that are happening without them even thinking about it.
You don't love me anymore?
What? Who said that I didn't?
You never say it.
I say it.
You can't even write it, Mike. From Mike.
Okay, 11, you're being ridiculous. I mean, you know what I feel. You know what I think. What is this? You are the most incredible person on Earth.
On Femi's end, this scene is just too smiley, and it's leading to it being a little bit one-dimensional. And I used to do this all the time. And I realized it's because I was trying so hard to come across as likable. The most likable way of presenting yourself tends to be with a smile. And I feel like Femi is so smiley with this that it starts to feel a little bit insincere. And like he's not actually taking what she's saying seriously.
They're nobodies, and you're a superhero.
I want to see almost all of the times that she saved him come across his face as he's talking about, you're a badass, you're a superhero, where you can kind of tell the experience behind it.
You're a superhero.
Not anymore.
Andrea felt more grounded than Femi, and it did lead to them having a pretty good contrast of each other, but at times it felt like they were playing off of a different scene partner, not like they were actually playing off of each other. And so it feels like there's this disconnect. Both of them are doing the performance they planned without really letting the other person change them. And acting is the opposite of math. You want to show your work as little as possible, so it feels like this scene is happening for the first time ever. Now, before we see how Millie herself did this scene, let's next go to our professional actors. We have Aurora, a Norwegian actress who has appeared on Netflix and Amazon Prime. And then we have Morgan, who has been acting full-time for the last year through Verticals. So let's see how they perform this scene.
So are we gonna like talk about it?
Talk about what?
I don't know. Maybe like about yesterday? Or
There's nothing to talk about. So,
yeah.
The tension is already there. We didn't really feel a whole lot of tension between any of our other pairs, but them, it's very clear from the jump that there's something that is going unsaid. Both of them have something bubbling up within them.
I guess I'm just a little... I guess I just don't understand. Why didn't you tell me what was going on here?
One of the ways that you can naturalize the lines so they feel less polished and rehearsed is the start-stop, where you start to say something and then you either change your mind and say something else, or you decide to have the courage to say what you were originally gonna say. And this is a way that you as an actor can bake in subtext, even if it's not necessarily written.
I mean, you know that I'm not exactly Mr. Popularity back at home. I mean, you've seen it. I've been bullied my entire life. I mean,
Morgan as a whole is showing way stronger opinions than the other mics as well. The other mics are just, I've been bullied my whole life, as a way to show her, oh, I understand, but we don't really see the history behind it. So I like that with Morgan. It is a big deal. It does actually affect her, and we can see that history come through in her eyes. And as a whole, the easiest way to add some texture into a scene is to just make sure you have an opinion of every single thing that you say. What makes a lot of scenes feel flat and unengaging is when an actor just says the words. Bake in some type of opinion that doesn't necessarily get said.
I know what it's like.
no, you don't.
Okay. What don't I understand?
I am different. I don't belong
You mean in Lenora?
anywhere.
Come on, you can't actually believe that.
Everyone is looking at me as if I am a monster.
Well, that's because they don't know you.
You think I'm a monster.
What?
Yesterday, the way you looked at me.
This feels way more genuine than the intermediates did. If we look at all of the 11s so far, Aurora's is the first to not feel one-dimensional. It's still not as dynamic as I would want it to be because we already from the jump saw her trying her best not to cry. It mutes a little bit of the impact where even though she's doing a better job of having more ebbs and flows than Andrea and Stephanie did in terms of the intent of the scene, it's still playing the exact same intent with a little bit of a raising of stakes. So we could have seen a little bit more of a change in tactic at some point.
Yesterday, the way you looked at me, you were scared of me.
No, that's not true. I was surprised. Maybe I was a little upset in the moment.
I did like that it felt like Morgan was actually replaying the events in her head versus Femi and Kyle just were like, no, that's wrong.
It was just so crazy and it happened so fast, but look, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. I care about you so much.
Care. But you don't love me anymore?
What?
I love that she took her time with that. Stephanie and Andrea were just like, well, you don't love me anymore. Versus with Aurora, it took more from her to actually say that out loud.
Who said that I didn't?
You don't say it.
I say it.
You can't even write it, Mike. From Mike.
Okay. 11, you're being ridiculous.
That actually landed with Morgan, which I really loved. All the other mics, it didn't really land. It was from Mike, okay, whatever. Versus her, we got to see as Aurora raised the stakes, so did Morgan. And so it 100% feels like Morgan's performance is being changed by Aurora, which it never really felt like we got from Femi.
They're nobodies, and you're a superhero.
I like that we get to see that actually kind of cheer Aurora up. Both Stephanie and Andrea just kind of disassociated, and it seems like that didn't impact them at all. Versus Aurora, it actually feels like there's a moment she appreciates it, but then there's this contradicting truth at the other time, which is that it's not enough. It doesn't have to just be, I will just be sad. It's also worth mentioning, no, they did not receive any major direction from me because we wanted to bottle the instincts of each individual skill level as authentically as possible to show the common mistakes that each skill level falls into. Directors do not micromanage every choice the way that a lot of people in the comments seem to think that they do. Now, we are about to go watch the original scene from Stranger Things, but before we do, how would you like to learn from two fellow Stranger Things actors on a consistent basis? Well, that's exactly what the students in my online acting community, the Acting Lab, get to do. And on top of that, my students also get to meet and potentially perform in front of industry legend David Rappaport, who has cast many iconic shows such as You, Riverdale, The Summer I Turned Pretty, The Flash, Arrow, Gossip Girl, and many more. And this is because during the final quarter of 2025, we're hosting our special season of Madness, which features monthly casting simulations with amazing guests that allow you to get a behind-the-scenes look into the casting process. And that's in addition to our usual classes, feedback videos, courses, and resources designed to give you an inside look into what to do next if you're looking to get to the next level of your acting career. The relevant dates of the Season of Madness are on the screen now. The sooner you join, the more of the fun you get to take part in. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description or pinned comment if you'd like some more information. Let's finally see how the iconic Millie Bobby Brown and Finn Wolfhard performed this exact same scene in the original show.
Hey, that's cool. Hop's cabin, right?
I already like that we're gonna see Finn have to earn the turn. And earning the turn is just not immediately giving your scene partner your undivided attention at the very beginning until they've said something that has earned your attention. And look, full transparency, some of that could be because she was told to do that when they were blocking the scene with the director. A lot of times the director is the one primarily responsible for the blocking, so probably the director decided to do this themselves. But this is where just because the director's the one that decided to do that on the day doesn't mean you, the actor, can't look for ways to incorporate the same movement that happens on set. This is part of how looking at what the final product will look like will allow you to have the best audition take possible.
So, are we just not gonna talk about it?
About what?
I don't know, just maybe like about yesterday or everything.
There's nothing to say.
You can feel him trying to get her attention in a way that we haven't really seen with the other mics. And so it's a choice he's making completely inspired by what Millie is doing right now. That becomes an element that adds an obstacle that now Mike has to overcome in the scene. If a scene is falling flat, a lot of times it's because you've not developed enough external or internal obstacles to overcome in the scene.
You've seen it, I've been bullied my entire life. I mean, I know what it's like.
No, you don't.
Okay, what don't I understand?
I am different. I do not belong.
This is a cool layer to it that we didn't see with the others, where there's almost this resignation behind it. I think the other actors, there was an edge of, I need to perform, I need to show how intense this scene can be, and so I'm gonna really add as much frustration into this first line as possible. But with Millie, she doesn't feel that same pressure, so she's able to make this more resigned choice that isn't necessarily as intense as some of our other actors, but intensity does not equal good.
You mean in Lenora?
Now he earned her attention. This is where she's doing a great job of trusting the thought, because I immediately can get a sense of what she's thinking, and she's not telegraphing, she's not forcing us to see exactly what she's thinking, but I can just look at this and tell her thought is, you actually don't understand me anymore.
Anywhere.
Come on, you can't actually believe that.
Everyone looks at me like I'm a monster.
Well, they just don't know you.
I love that too. That very reflective moment where you can see her reliving all of the dirty looks that she's received.
You think I'm a monster too.
What?
Yesterday. The way you looked at me. You were scared of me.
No, that's not true.
It's all in her eyes. She doesn't feel like she needs to force it in her voice. She doesn't feel like she needs to force it in her face. She's letting her eyes fully anchor the entire scene in a way that everyone else didn't really do.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. I mean, it was so crazy. It happened so fast, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. I care for you so much.
Care. But you don't love me anymore.
It's so clear what his objective is. Everything Finn is doing, it just fully feels like it's because of what Millie is giving him. And I also love that moment was more of a realization. She didn't think of this before the scene started, which I really liked.
From Mike.
Okay, Eleven, you're being ridiculous. What is this? You know what I think of you. You're the most incredible person in the world. And you can't let these mouth breathers ruin you. Ruin us. I mean, they're nobodies.
Of all of the scenes, this was the only one that actually gave me those back tingles, because it felt like both people were so dialed into each other, were like so clearly feeling insecure about those different things. It feels raw. Because she's a natural, this all sort of happens as a byproduct of committing to the scene. And that's what separates the prodigies from the ones like me that have to work very hard to get to a place where we're ready to be on a professional set. A lot of the technique that I have to learn and ingrain in my muscle memory so much to the point it happens without me thinking about it. With someone like Millie, they're just naturally an engaging speaker. They're naturally very emotionally available. And so it's easier for them to just commit fully to a scene without those borders. Remember, if you'd love to join the acting lab to meet and potentially perform in front of renowned casting director David Rappaport, then links are in the description or pinned comment, or you can scan the QR code for more information. If you enjoyed this breakdown, you'll also enjoy this video where me and Logan Riley Bruner, who you might know as Fred from season 4 of Stranger Things, watch our own scenes from the show and break down what went on behind the surface.